Good evening. My name is Heather Blankenship. I'm the Chartered Organization Representative for the PAC 736 and with Aldersgate United Methodist Church. So some of you may be asking, why am I wearing a Wonder Woman apron? And I listen for the crowd to say, why are you wearing a Wonder Woman apron?
Why are you wearing a Wonder Woman?
Well, I'm up here tonight to talk to you about heroes. As I was preparing my remarks for this evening, I looked up the word hero in the dictionary. And it says a person of distinguished courage or ability, admired for brave deeds and noble qualities. Sounds a lot like a knight in shining armor, or maybe a superhero. So I thought I would start off this evening by telling you about some of the heroes in my life. The first one is a 9-year-old Cub Scout who woke up in the middle of the night because he heard his mother moaning in the next room. His father was out of town, so he got up to see what was wrong. His mother was a severe diabetic and was on the verge of a diabetic coma. She could barely speak. All she could say was die. Well, the scout sprang into action and he dialed 911, told the dispatcher what was happening. While he was waiting for help to arrive, he went to the kitchen, he opened a can of Coke, and helped his mother to drink it to get her blood sugar back up. By the time help arrived, he'd managed to keep her from slipping into a coma and may very well have saved his mother's life that night. There wasn't a dry eye in the room 15 years ago at PAC 736 Blue and Gold Banquet, very much like this banquet tonight when that Cub Scout received the Boy Scout Medal of Merit award for his actions. Then there's another hero. This is an 18-year-old venturing scout who was a member of the Philmont crew that was hiking down from the summit of Mount Baldy. We'd started hiking at 4 a.m. that morning to make sure we'd reach the summit before the afternoon storms rolled in. And it was a strenuous hike, but we all made it, and we were all looking forward to showers at Baldy Town on our way back to camp. We were really close. We were about a half a mile from Baldy Town when all of a sudden one of the girls in our crew collapsed on the trail. Without any hesitation, the scout jumped into action. She dropped her pack. She started giving instructions to the rest of the crew. Elevate her feet. Make me an Nalgene of Gatorade. She used her bandana to make a cold compress for this girl's head. And the adults didn't have to do anything. We just stepped back and watched. And she had everything under control. And in about 20 minutes, we had the girl back on her feet, and she finished the hike into camp. On that same trek, there were 2 young men who, instead of splitting up the weight of the tent they were going to sleep in for the 12 days, a 90-mile trek, they actually each carried the weight of a full tent. And that was so that yours truly, an out-of-shape, 40-something working mother of 2, could lighten my load and go the distance. And then finally, there's the 8-year-old Cub Scout from our very own PAC who started on his own a Stop Bullying Club at his school. He invited some of his friends, and those happened to be some other Cub Scouts. And those guys just took turns watching for bullying on the playground, and they intervened when things weren't right. So some of the school counselor found out about it. They formalized the program at the school. It's been renamed the Buddy Club. The kids have made posters. They hang them around the school. They actually go around to classrooms and make presentations to other kids and encourage them to be part of the Buddy Club. So not only is that club now about preventing bullying, but it's about challenging kids to have the courage to stand up when they see other scouts in need. So these are just a few of my heroes, because I don't have enough time to tell you about all of them. The Boy Scouts of America recently released an ad that showed the back of a Cub Scout that looks much like the Cub Scout that would be standing right here. And it simply says, "Don't judge a superhero by the size of his cape." And I think that really says it all. The scouting movement is about cultivating everyday heroes. There is no other youth organization that helps a young person learn the difference between right and wrong, grow in life skills, or develop in leadership like scouting. In Quivira Council, we serve more than 13,000 youth and their families in 30 counties in Kansas. This support includes staffing and maintaining our service center, providing training courses and materials, performing background checks on our leaders, and providing accident insurance. In addition, we own and operate 2 camps, Camp Quivira, Quivira Scout Ranch and Camp Kanza, that provide year-round program opportunities for our scouts. To do all that, it cost Quivira Council $185 to provide scouting to one scout for a year. The Friends of Scouting goal for our PAC is the same as what we achieved last year, $2,600. This is the equivalent of 15% of our families in our PAC giving a gift of $185 to support one scout in the council. If we meet this goal, we can continue to receive free cloth rank advancements from the Scout Shop for another year. In addition, there are some individual recognition items for different levels of giving. There's the BSA Prepared for Life license plate frame for a $50 gift. There's a Quivira Council Duty to God Friends of Scouting's shoulder patch for a $125 gift. A commemorative BSA mission coin for a $185 gift. A Friends of Scouting leather belt for a $300 gift. And a Prepared for Life limited edition belt buckle for $500. We're also continuing with the commemorative White Buffalo District Friends of Scouting patch that we introduced last year that you will also get for a gift of $50 or more. So I think some of my Boy Scouts have passed out the brochures to each of the families here. They also have pens. If you need one, just raise your hand. So to fill out the form, we need you to provide your name, the amount of your contribution, whether you plan to pay now or if you'd like to make a pledge. And you can indicate on there if you want us to bill you. You can make payments, and we can, make as many payments as you'd like. You just need to specify on the brochure how you'd like us to do that. If you're going to pay now, we can take a Visa, we can take check, or we can take cash. And then we need you to sign that commitment card so that we know that you agree to that commitment. And be sure to put your phone number on there in case we need to call you with questions. There are a number of employers in the Wichita area that will match funds. So please indicate the name of your employer. The Quivira Council knows who those employers are, and they'll be able to check on that and see if that's an employer that matches your gift. There are lots of other sources of funding for scouting, including United Way, special events, and popcorn sales, but the Quivira Council does depend on this Family Friends of Scouting giving for at least 15% of its budget. So finally, I leave you with one additional thought. I was part of an email conversation yesterday with our Cub Master, and she was informing us about her situation with her mother, that she would not be able to join us at the banquet this evening. And it was very apparent from the discussion she was all concerned about getting everything done and making sure that this was the best banquet for the boys. And by the time the last email was sent, everything was worked out because there were a whole bunch of other leaders that just stepped up and said, I'll do it, I'll help, I'll help. And the very last email that went out from our Cub Master said this: I feel I need to tell everyone thank you. Thinking of everything you're doing brings tears to my eyes. I'm truly blessed to have met each and every one of you. Boy Scouts is not only enriching my sons' lives, it is enriching my life. I thank God for bringing you into my life. Folks, we are in the hero business. Make no mistake. I encourage you to consider what you can give. Any amount is appreciated. Please return your cards to me, and later this evening I'll give you an update on where we are toward the goal. And finally, thank you very much for your commitment to scouting.
My name is Dale Dabney. I'm a Scoutmaster of Troop 24/7, also volunteer committee levels, been a scout since I was 7 years old. Now, for FOS, here's what I do. I go in front of a group and I go with a little bit of knowledge, be prepared. So I look and see what their current FOS numbers are. I look and tabulate what the number is that they need so they can get their unit outstanding, and then I present that idea to them. I go through at the beginning, I talk about, I give them a slide and I show them, here's the things that we do in Quivira Council, the number of counties we have, the over 13,000 to 14,000 scouts we affect in our local community. I tell them that basically what FOS and what the funding raising that we do provides roughly $185 per scout, so that money can be presented and used to benefit the scouts. And then I list all the things that it benefits, like QSR, Kanza, all the organizational events that we host and support. Then what I do is I will show them a slide that if they're willing to donate, after I tell them, here's what your unit number is, and I go, if each and every one of you would, after I divide it out what that number will be for them to meet their FOS standard, I just give them that number, and if there's 30 or 40 of them and I tell them there's only $15 each of you need to donate and you will meet your FOS obligation for the troop for your Outstanding Unit of the Year award, usually I get 100% participation that night. And then I suggest to them, the next slide I show them, because I give them 2 slides and I do a 3 to 4 minute presentation, make it as short as possible, power punch it, and then I'll answer questions afterwards. And usually I have questions, I just get money. It's absolutely amazing what it does. And I show them the slide that says, okay, if you donate X number of dollars, you get a belt buckle, a statue, an umbrella, whatever that number is. And then generally I will get people that will donate, and that makes up for the 1 or 2 people that with their disadvantages just don't have the funding to provide even the $15 if that's what's required out of that unit. It works really well, it's effective. I tell them what I'm going to tell them, I tell them and I tell them again, and I let them know that I have a form at every table in front of where you're sitting right now. Please fill it out and let me know if you want to use MasterCard or if you want to pay cash, or give me a check. I'll take it right now and we'll be squared away, and your unit will be qualified for that setting unit award.
Cool. Can you give us like just a really quick, if you're doing presentations right now, how would you do it? And
well, usually here's what I do. I will take the entire slide that I get off of the DVD, and I'll narrow it down to 2 slides. I like 2 slides. 1 slide, because less is more. I learned that in the Air Force. Tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them again. So what I do is on the slide, I tell them what I'm going to tell them when it comes to the numbers, the support, and that kind of stuff on the first slide that we're providing with the FOS funds and the other funds that we get to the council. And then, I always usually talk about this great new building that we have and the ability to go to a new national level scout shop. We're able to buy all the things we need. I talk about that. And then I talk about, on the second slide, the current awards that you get depending on how much money you donate. And what that does, I talk about on that first slide how many kids it helps, and that's create sponsorships for going to summer camp, going to bear camp, wolves camp, all that stuff. If there's a kid that can't register, I usually mention that too, that if there's a kid that can't register and pay for it, we take care of it. There is a means to be able to make that happen. So, and I tell them that's what that money is spent for. So, cool. On that slide.
all right. Well, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Chuck Kissling, and I'm active in Troop 762. I've been involved in scouting for nearly 30 years as both an adult and as a youth. I have 3 sons who progressed through scouting from Tiger Cubs all the way to Eagle Scouts. I'm here tonight to tell you a little bit about the Quivira Council Friends of Scouting program and to ask for your help. The mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. How does this occur? Scouting stresses 3 duties: duty to God, duty to country and others, and duty to self, in that order. Scouting helps our youth develop the skills and the character necessary to live those duties. Age-appropriate program and activities help the youngest scouts, the Tiger Cubs, to begin learning about friendship and family and teamwork. Cub Scouts learn to respect others and to do their best. Boy Scouts begin developing outdoor skills, camping skills, cooking skills, and they spend many hours in service to others. Through all of this, our kids grow up learning to be good leaders, good neighbors, and good stewards of God's gifts. I believe in scouting. I believe scouting works. 11 of the 12 men who walked on the moon were Boy Scouts. 10% of all the astronauts have been Eagle Scouts. In Congress, the present Congress, 191 members were in Scouts, and 28 of those members were Eagle Scouts. 14% of the cadets in the U.S. military academies are Eagle Scouts. What makes this so significant is that nationally, only about 0.2% of all boys become an Eagle Scout. What that means is that statistically, in these leadership positions that I mentioned, about 50 times, we see 50 times more Eagle Scouts than we should see based on the general population. What does this mean? Again, it means scouting works. Scouting accomplishes its mission. The youth of today are our future. They will be tomorrow's responsible citizens and leaders. Quivira Council serves more than 13,000 scouts. Your pack, troop, or crew receive support from the council in many ways. Some adult training courses, professional staff support, insurance coverage, and the operation of Quivira Scout Ranch and Camp Kanza. This costs money. The council will invest $185 in each scout this year. About 27% of that comes from Friends of Scouting. Friends of Scouting is people like you and I who want our children to grow up to be responsible citizens and leaders. We want our children to grow up putting God first, others second, and themselves last. Friends of Scouting needs our help. Please consider making a contribution at the family level of $185 or more to Friends of Scouting. No matter how much you give, any gift is appreciated. Your goal has a unit of. It is not necessary for you to make a payment tonight. You may make a pledge and pay it in monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or even a one-time payment. In addition, you can make credit card payment with Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. In recognition of your gift, a $50 gift will receive a Boy Scouts of America license plate frame. Gifts of $125 receive that license plate frame and a Friends of Scouting shoulder patch. Gifts of $185 receive the license frame, the shoulder patch, and a special Scout collectible coin. If you're able to give $300, the license plate, a shoulder patch, and a Boy Scout cap. A limited edition Boy Scout cap. And gifts of $500 receive the license frame, the shoulder patch, and a limited edition belt buckle that is numbered and is very limited. To make your donation, simply fill out your name and address on the donation form in the brochure. Don't put your Scout's name, it's your name. Fill in your total contribution amount and how much, if any, you are going to leave with me tonight, and whether that's cash or check. For pledged amounts, please be sure to indicate how you would like your pledge to be made. And you do that in the billing information section. If you wish to use a credit card, fill out the credit card information. No matter how you're making a donation, be sure to sign the form. Also, indicate whether your gift should be credited to your crew, to your troop, or to your pack. If the unit's goal is met, they will receive free rank advancements for a year, and Cub Scout packs will receive the Pinewood Derby for their unit. All of this saves your unit money. On behalf of the Quivira Council and Friends of Scouting, I thank you. I'll give you a few minutes to fill out your forms, and then I will collect them.